Why not use your network in your community? Say, hey, our agency has changed the way we do things. You're selling yourself. This is what you need to do in a month. Hi, Therese with Agency Performance Partners here to talk to you about insurance agency business plans. So, what is your insurance agency business plan? Do you really have one? Of course you do. But do you know how to execute it? Most agencies owners have a plan, but are you including your staff in that plan? That's the important part. You have to include your staff because they have to be on board with your vision. So you have to make sure that you've got your staff on board. So present that plan to them. Now, what does an insurance agency growth plan look like or business plan for growth? You want to start out with leads and stuff coming in the office. You've got a front door of your agency and a back door of your agency. The front door, think of it as all of the new business coming in the front door, and the back door is your retention. So, first of all, let's discuss keeping that front door open. Where are you getting your leads? Where are you getting your new business? Where are you getting those new policies? Well, the best place to start is to look inside. So you have all of these clients inside your management system. Are you using that for your warm leads? That is where to start. You need to first look at auto no home, home no auto, people who have home and auto and don't have an umbrella, people who have home, auto, umbrella and do not have life insurance. And your agency may not sell life insurance. Usually there's some kind of connection where you can get them life insurance, but it's a huge group when you have home, auto, umbrella, and life insurance. Remember, anybody who has young, inexperienced operators, they need an umbrella. They have high dollar home or 4 vehicles, they should have an umbrella. So look for those clients, make lists, use your management system to your advantage. Make lists of everything: home no auto, auto no home, home and auto no umbrella, home auto umbrella no life insurance. And the possibilities are endless depending on what you're selling and what you're looking for, what your target markets are. So make sure that you have all of your staff working on cross selling with your current book. Now, that can be somebody calling in or coming in to make a payment. Are they saying, hey, I see you have your auto with our agency. Where's your homeowner's insurance? Have them ask every single time. Even if it gets annoying, you need your customers to know that you're a trusted advisor and you want all of their insurance with your agency. So start off with your warm leads. Now, how do you get those? You've got staff that come to you. Oh, I'm busy. Oh, I don't have time. I can't make outbound calls. Well, they're busy because they're doing what's easy. Usually service work is a lot easier than sales. So they will stay busy and keep making you think that they're busy because they don't want to do these outbound calls. So what you have to do as a leader, manager, owner is you need to have them block time. So have your managers block time for when those outbound calls can be done. So have some staff members do them in the morning, other staff members do them in the afternoon, and then flip flop. I would say keep Mondays and Fridays open as catch up days. So Monday, obviously, you're getting all the fires from the weekend. Friday, you have all the people calling in before the weekend. So if you take your Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays and use those as your outbound call days. Now, if the calls don't get done, they can complete them on Friday. They've got an extra day to catch up. I would not say, okay, you have to have this many calls done on Tuesday. I would say by the end of the week, you need to have this many calls. So they can switch it. So if Tuesday is a really busy day, they can do double the calls on Wednesday. But block the time, make sure that there's one person outbound doing outbound calls while the other person does sales. So you're not getting backlogged on those service calls while the other person is doing the outbound call. So I would recommend a schedule blocking time. We at APP are big believers in blocking time and making sure that we're using our time wisely, and that's very important. And it shows for a successful agency if you're blocking time and you're using your time wisely. So after you discuss your time blocking, you've got your cross sells. Okay, how about all of the quotes that you did not sell? So talk to your staff. Every time they do a quote, if they don't sell it, they need to put an X date, which would be 5 months if it's a 6-month policy, 10 or 11 months if it's a yearly policy. So they're calling that lead a month before the renewal of their next policy. So that would be X date. Now, win back. What about all the customers that you've lost? Now, make sure you read the notes. There may be customers that you don't want to win back, but for the customers that you do want to win back, make a win back list and call them and say, hey, our agency has changed the way we do things. I know you left because of this. Let's see if we can get you a better price. Of course, we don't want to sell just on price. We want to sell on quality. You're selling yourself. Your agents are selling themselves and their trustworthiness and their ability to sell and show wow customer service. So it is important for your agency to win them back. Literally, you have to show them why you want them back. How are you going to earn their trust back and get them back into the agency? After that, now you've got leads. Every agency wants to do leads, 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 leads. Make sure you use internal leads first from your book. Then, if you want to go with leads, instead of going with the leads that they click on something on the internet, those leads, when they click on them and they put their information in, it usually goes out to 10 or 15 agents. And if you're not the agent that calls them first, there's no way you're going to sell a lot of those because you have to immediately call them and see if you can get to them first. By the time, if you call them 5 minutes later, they've probably already heard from 10 agents. So it's really hard to sell those. And if you do, you just got to be on top of them and be quick. What about networking? Why not use your network in your community? Volunteering, community service, chamber of commerce's, different networking, banks, some grand openings of banks I've been to. But if you go to a chamber of commerce, you meet a lot of business people, a lot of people who are in banks and that will invite you to open houses. So get into your chamber of commerce, get into your dealerships, get into your mortgage companies, make those relationships to try to get people to refer connections. It's all about those connections. So that's the way we would do it when it comes to doing leads. Then you have your back door. How are you keeping your back door closed? Are you calling clients 90 days before the renewal? Are you checking in with them to let them know that you care about them? Birthday calls is something simple you can do where somebody just calls them and says happy birthday or sends marketing emails. You guys have marketing systems that can send emails that just says happy birthday. You're not selling them anything, but you're letting them know that you care. So retention is really also very important because you can be bringing in a ton of business and have a ton of business going out the back door. Be careful with that back door, making sure it's shut. So you have to have a team that's working on both. Now, I've worked in agencies where you do sales and service. And what I would do is block time to do those outbound calls, but I also block time to do outbound calls for retention. So you have to schedule and really be methodical on how you run your agency for growth, keeping the front door open and the back door closed. So it's really important that you think about not only your plan, but you bring in your staff and let them see your plan and your vision and that you have goals or that you have numbers. And to be honest with you, the first agency I worked at, when I was a green new insurance agency, didn't know anything about insurance. We had numbers that we had to meet. We had a chart that we had to fill out every week, and we had Monday morning meetings. And those meetings were grueling. Monday's already a hard day. Then having to go into a meeting early in the morning, that was rough. It was really hard. And I didn't like the numbers very much, but I always noticed if I had a bad week or a bad day, the next day or the next week, I always caught back up. So you might want to make your numbers like monthly numbers. So like I did with the outbound calls, you want to make it a week. So don't say today you have to make this many calls. Give them a week with a number of calls so they can use other days and fit those calls in to make sure that they hit those numbers. Same thing when it comes to actual numbers. Give them a month and say, here, this is how much you have to get in a month. This is what you need to do in a month. So it gives them a time span. So if they have a really bad week, the next week they will actually improve. So I found that sometimes the hardest things in life and the things we struggle with the most are sometimes the things that help us the most. I actually speak Spanish. Hablo español. Si quiere prueba, aquí estoy hablando en español. I lived in Guatemala 12 years, and my ex-husband, I love to order food because they had more, you could order more there because everything is made from scratch. So McDonald's delivered there. So I always wanted to order food because I didn't like to cook. And he would make me, my ex-husband would make me call and order the food. And it's really hard to speak another language over the phone. But I did it because I wanted to order that food. Well, just like this with my first insurance agent, he made us have those numbers and it felt like micromanaging and it was complicated, but I always succeeded and did really well because I had goals and I knew I had to meet them. So when you set goals for people, it gives them more motivation to get them. They see them on paper and they get there. So make sure with your staff, you're having them help you with the plan. You're having them help you make the numbers, of course, within reason. And you're having them help you get the concept of keeping that front door open, getting all those leads in, calling the leads immediately, calling people to cross sell, to do X day win backs and retaining that other business so it's not going out the back door. That's your goal. That's the way you're going to get that insurance business plan that is for growth. So if you have any questions, don't forget you're reading a blog. Hopefully you're reading the blog and you're seeing this video. Come visit us at agencyperformancepartners.com. You can send us an email. You can go on agencyperformancepartners.com and fill out a form if you have any questions. We're here to help. Thanks so much for listening and have a wonderful day.